Hey everyone, I'm excited to be here with you today. I know LinkedIn is one of those things that just stresses people out, or they stay away from it, or they're just afraid of the platform, or they can't get it to work for them. So we're talking about 4 ways to use LinkedIn to grow your business and your income today. So one of the things that I see a lot is that people are trying to build their business either on Facebook or on LinkedIn or maybe Instagram. But what I have found is that a lot of times it's very difficult to move people from one platform to the other. So I have been able to move people from LinkedIn to say to a Facebook Live or to some sort of a Facebook training that I did. But the problem is they don't stay active on Facebook. So even though they might have a profile page, they don't stay active. And I can't tell you how many people I get into conversations with and I say, hey, are you on Facebook? Thinking I'll invite them into my group. And they say, no, I got rid of Facebook a long time ago. So it's important to know this. Higher value clients who are working with higher value people are going to be on that platform. They're not going to be on Facebook. And I've said this before, who is on Facebook? The reason I'm on Facebook is because I work with coaches and consultants. But I typically move them to LinkedIn, ask my clients. I don't do very much with them on Facebook. I can help them get clients on Facebook. It really depends on who they're targeting. But often I end up moving them to the LinkedIn platform. So I'm here because the people I work with are here, but I have to tell you that you're very limited on Facebook. So that being said, let's jump in. So I know everyone thinks about LinkedIn as getting clients, and that goes without saying, right? Most people are on there because they want to get clients, but I want to show you some other ways that you can use LinkedIn. So of course you can get clients, but you have to understand it's a professional platform, but it's also a business building and a relationship building platform as well. So one of the things with LinkedIn is it's not a super fast way. So I don't want to sit here and sell you some sort of magic juice because LinkedIn takes a little bit more time. It's not like Facebook where you can curate an audience and then you can do a launch and you can bring people in. Although I have to tell you, to me, that is really a time suck too. So that's not the way I enjoy doing my business. And at the end of the day, sometimes that doesn't even turn into a lot. So the one thing that I've noticed on Facebook versus LinkedIn is there's a lot more free seekers on Facebook, and I'm just giving it to you straight. And you know I will always do that, right? I say it like it is. I give you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not, but there's a lot of free seekers on Facebook. But on LinkedIn, people really are there to build their business. It is a business platform, and so that's the difference. So it's about building relationships. It's not super fast, but you do have to have a great strategy. And if you have a great strategy, you can get really high-end clients, and you can get great clients as well, and you can also make really great connections. So let me talk about some of the things you can do. So the first thing is opportunities. LinkedIn is an amazing place for opportunities. So if you want to speak, if you want to get on people's podcasts, if you want to get people on your podcast, I know I sent out a message for people to get on my podcast, and it was automated. It took me like 5 minutes to set it up, and I had like 130 people in my inbox. I mean, it was crazy. So you can use it for things like that as well. Look for opportunities for what's coming up, conferences, events, things that you might want to go to or become part of. That's one way that a lot of people don't think about using LinkedIn, and it's phenomenal for that. So for example, if I'm looking for speaking engagements, I can go to LinkedIn, I can do a keyword search for speaking, and I can start even following other speakers and looking for where they're going and where they're speaking. And so there's all kinds of ways that you can use it for opportunities that maybe people aren't really thinking about. And here's the thing, I'm a one-to-many approach. I talk about this all the time. I'm all about leveraging your time. So you know that I believe speaking, trainings like this, things where you're getting more visibility are your fastest paths. So if you can use LinkedIn to get speaking opportunities or to get leverage other people's audiences through a podcast or through some other means, that's going to be a really fast way for you to get a lot of eyeballs and a lot of visibility on yourself, all right, for what you do. So that's one way that you can use LinkedIn that maybe you haven't thought about, but it is an incredibly powerful way, all right? The second way to use LinkedIn is for referrals, and not just to get them, but to give them. So who can you connect? How can you have genuine conversations with people? Find out what their needs are, and then you can become that person that can refer them or connect them. And that is a really powerful way to build fast relationships with people. Also, if there's someone that you want to be connected with, if you have figured out, okay, I want to know the CEO in this particular company. Okay, LinkedIn is a powerhouse to show you. You have to think about this. LinkedIn is a search engine, so it's a very robust platform. So you can go to that person that you want to connect with, and you can see who else you're both connected to. And then you can reach out to the person that you're both connected to, and you can ask, do you know this person? Is there a way that you could give me a referral or connect me with this person? And so that's another way that people use the LinkedIn platform in a really powerful way. And the thing that you have to remember is that people are on LinkedIn to do business. They're there to get clients. They're there to get connections. They're there to get opportunities, just like I'm talking about. And so people are on there to do business. And I've said this before, Facebook is a social platform that we've sort of like integrated our business into, right? But it isn't built for business. And actually, if anyone saw Mark Zuckerberg's recent video that was released just a couple of days ago, he is changing the Facebook platform, and it is not going to be nice for business owners. It is going to hurt small business. He wants to go to this whole privacy thing, and all of that is going to impact small businesses. But LinkedIn is a business platform. It is designed for business. It's designed, recruiters are on there, employees, high-level employees are on there looking for jobs, and so that's the way. So people are on there to do business. So that's one of the biggest things that you need to understand. So the other thing that you have to remember as well is that everyone's not super active on LinkedIn. So even though they might have a profile, it doesn't mean they're active. But here's the very cool thing. When you use the paid version of LinkedIn, which I've been using for many years, you now have access to their information, to their email address, to their, a lot of times their phone numbers, and you have access to all of that information. So I'm a big believer in the paid version. I use Sales Navigator, the paid version over the free, because the other thing is it opens up more doors for you when you have the paid version. You don't have to use the paid version. If you're just getting started, you don't have to, but it will show you a lot more people. It will allow you to connect with more people. There's a cap on the free version, and the paid version is much higher. I think you can connect with, I think the recent numbers were 125 to 200 people a day, and the paid version is like 90 people a week, I think. So it's not, you have huge opportunity differences with the paid. So I'm a big believer in that. It's like $80 a month. The other thing is you can actually curate lists with the paid version. So if you know exactly who your ideal clients are, who your target is, or even if you're looking for opportunities, who is going to be a good fit for that, you can actually use Navigator to build a list of 1,000 people or 100 people or however many you want. And then you've got a list to work from. So that's a really important thing to know as well. The second way is referrals. And I kind of mentioned this just a little bit, where I said, look, if you want to get referrals and you know exactly who you want to be referred to, look at who your common connections are. And LinkedIn shows that to you. It shows you exactly who your connections are that are also connections of the person you want to meet or the person you want to get connected to. So a lot of times you can just reach out and ask to connect them. I know that I have had people reach out to me and say, hey, Ann, I saw that you're connected to so-and-so, and I would love to get an introduction to them. Do you think you could do that? Absolutely. I have, no problem doing that. I've also been able to connect other business people that I thought could be really good partnerships. In fact, I kind of talked about this, I think, the other day. One of my past clients who was in my Getting Close High Paying Clients program, I had interviewed someone as a guest on my podcast, and they both work in the nonprofit space. And I thought, wow, they would be great connections for each other. And now they're actually partnered up and they're doing really cool stuff together. So also, how can you serve people on LinkedIn as well as get, right? So you're building relationships. So you always have to also be looking at, how can I help other people? How can I give value? All of that is part of social selling and social platforms. But getting referrals is another really great way. So don't always go for the client. Don't think everyone that you connect to could be a client. But if they're not, how can you ask them for a referral? Well, who do you know? Or do you know anyone that might have a need for this? So that's another really, really great way to use LinkedIn. All right, the third way, and again, all these things kind of intertwine, so it probably sounds like I'm repeating myself a bit, but I'm not. Opportunities, referrals, and then the third way is strategic alliances and JV partnerships. I can't tell you how many partnerships I have built through LinkedIn, and where we actually share money, share revenue, income streams. And so it is a great place also to build those partnerships. One of my clients, I don't think he's on here. He's a current client. He's in my Expert in You Mastermind program, but he built a partnership on LinkedIn, that's turned into over a $20,000 client, and he will get more clients from that partnership. And he's still working with the client, so he's going to make a lot of money from that one client with that one partnership. So it's a really powerful way to get bigger financial leaps in your business and really help you. JV partnerships, strategic alliances. One of the things that I like to tell my clients to do is make a list of, okay, who are partnerships that would help you build your business, but you also would be an asset to them. So, make a list of those people. So for example, I like to build JV partnerships with people who can offer things to my clients that I know they're going to need, but it's not a disconnect for me. So I don't look for things that are a total disconnect. Like I wouldn't go out there and start selling an MLM product, okay? Because it's so off of what I do. But I do have partnerships with people who, if my clients want to get on a podcast, I can help them get all of that back end work done. I have a partner with someone who can do all of that. If they need graphics done or marketing materials done or social media done, I have partnerships for all of those things. If they need a book done, I have a partnership for that. So all things that I know my clients will need are things that I have looked for partnerships for, because I don't want to do everything myself. And honestly, they appreciate it because I'm sending them business and I'm getting a portion of that business. Why would I not want to do that, right? So it's kind of like having freelancers that work for me in a way, but they're JV partnerships. And a lot of those I have got from LinkedIn. They came to me from LinkedIn. So I will just tell you, though, look for strategic alliances, make a list. Who would be great people for you that could send you business, that you could share connections, you could share your audience. And then here's one other thing that you can do as well on LinkedIn is, and one of the things that we're kind of doing actually in with my mastermind group is you can create pods on LinkedIn to share, to really like and comment on content. And this is a way to get more eyeballs on you, more visibility. And you want to curate your audience, or your network, I should say, not an audience, but you're curating a network on LinkedIn with your ideal clients or people that could be great partnerships or alliances. So people that are in really your wheelhouse, okay? Those are the people you want to build your network with. Don't just connect with anyone and everyone. Be selective that the people that you're connecting with, that there's opportunity there for you to either give or to get, but they're not so far off of what you do. Okay, that's a really important thing to realize. So you build your network just like you do on Facebook, just like you do on any other social media platform. But then you want to also, you can also set up pods. Or groups. You can do groups. I didn't even put that on my list, but that's another way. So you can curate your network. You can set up pods where people are going and commenting on each other's posts and on their content. And what happens is the algorithms will pick that up, and all of a sudden now have a much bigger reach, because when you comment, if you go to your profile right now on LinkedIn, any comment that you have made on anyone else's post, it shows up in your activity, and it shows up on other people's feeds. So it's really important, if you want to get that bigger reach and build that audience, that you can actually create pods on LinkedIn to go and do the comment and the likes and all of that. So that's another thing that people don't think about, just to build visibility. So we're going to have 6 ways here. The other thing is they have come out with an events feature. Now, I will tell you, I'm brand new at the events feature. I'm just learning it, so I'm not an expert at it. Not afraid to tell you that. I have just scheduled, my first event. I think I did something wrong with that event, so now I'm figuring it out, which is, you have to try things sometimes, right? But I will tell you that the events feature is really powerful, because LinkedIn will show that event. It's not like Facebook where you have to invite people to your event or no one sees it, right? LinkedIn actually will show your event to your network. Like, it will push it out there for you and show it to your network. So it's a really powerful thing. And here's the other cool thing. It keeps reminding them. And it also, which Facebook does do this too, but if they comment that they want to come, if they actually register that they want to come, LinkedIn will keep reminding them that the event is coming up so they can join. So it takes some of the heavy lifting off of you to have to keep promoting your event and reminding people and all of that kind of thing. So I think the events feature, I believe they started that in January, so it's fairly new. And people are just now kind of catching on to it. But I think it is going to be an incredible feature for LinkedIn. And like I said, they're consistently trying to make the platform better. They are consistently working to, to make it more user-friendly, to make it more interactive. And also, the one thing that I've seen too with LinkedIn is there's been a shift that it's not so stuffy anymore. Before, I've been on LinkedIn for many, many years, and I can tell you, it's almost intimidating when you first get, when I first got on LinkedIn, it was almost intimidating because it was so stuffy, and I'm not a stuffy person at all. And so I was like, I don't feel like I really fit here. But they have changed that so much, and COVID has actually kind of added to that. And now people are really showing their personalities. They're talking about things that are more personal, more private, that they wouldn't have talked about before. And so it's becoming a more social platform, but people are still there to do business. And so now they're really, everything that they're telling people now is, hey, show the human side of you. Let people see the human side of you. Now you don't want to be intimidating. And so now there's this shift going on, which I think is going to be amazing for them. I think it is really going to help them a lot. So, okay, getting clients, opportunities, referrals, strategic partnerships, use it for events. And then the other feature that I'm still trying to get, I've applied probably 4 times now, is the LinkedIn Live. And it's very much like Facebook Live. LinkedIn still has some things that make it a little tough. For example, I can't post a full video like this. I would not be able to take this video and post the whole thing on LinkedIn. I would have to post a clip to get people's attention, or post a text about it, or some kind of graphic about it, and then I would have to drive people. I'd probably load this on my YouTube channel, and I would have to drive people to my YouTube video, from putting the link in the comments. There's a tip for you. Put the links in the comments, not in the text, not in the post. You won't get any reach if you don't do that. So, but LinkedIn only lets you do 10 minutes of video. But the live feature, that they have now. It's still in beta testing, and so everyone does not have it. You have to apply for it. I'm still waiting to see if I get approved this time around. If they, if I just bug them enough, they'll let me have it, right? And who knows why they choose what they choose. I don't really know how they make those decisions, but the live feature is really, really going to be so popular because it is really helping people, again, get those relationships built, show their expertise, all of those things in a live way. And the lives are getting a lot more traction than just posting a video on your on your feed. So these are some ways that, again, LinkedIn is making things better. They're changing things. But these are some ways that you can use LinkedIn that you maybe haven't thought of or you maybe haven't been doing. I think it is going to be the up and coming platform. And another thing that I'm seeing, I'm in Clubhouse rooms a lot and I'm moderating Clubhouse rooms. So if you're on Clubhouse, a lot of people are using Clubhouse to now move people to LinkedIn. They're also doing it to move people to Facebook. But if you want to be on LinkedIn, spend most of your time there and, really utilize the platform. And then you can move people from Clubhouse to LinkedIn and connect with you. Excuse me. I know I was in a room this morning and I had many people reach out to me and connect with me on LinkedIn. And honestly, I prefer that because they're typically more active on there. One other thing that I'll talk about when you're building your list, if you're using Navigator and you're building your list, LinkedIn has a feature where they actually let you see who's been active and who, like how many of the people on your list have been active in like the last 30 days. I think it's 30 days if I remember right. And so now you have an active audience right there that you can go and utilize, and you can comment on their posts. You can start building those relationships. There's a whole strategy to LinkedIn. This is what I teach my clients when I work with them. I teach them how to get business and opportunities and all of those things on LinkedIn. So there is a strategy. It's not just about, tactics. There's a whole strategy. It is a whole different animal on LinkedIn, but it is an amazing place. And almost all of my very, very high-end clients have come from LinkedIn. And all of my clients' that have been very high-end, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 clients, they've come from LinkedIn. So, to say, oh, I'm not comfortable with it, Facebook's where I'm comfortable, all I'm going to say is you're going to be offering your services for lower fees on Facebook. That's what I'm going to say, that you're not going to get the super ultra high ticket clients on Facebook. And if that's where you want to be, that's fine. I'm just here to tell you the differences between them. All right, everyone, have an amazing day. Have a great rest of the week. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Let's get you going on there and get those premium clients. So I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.